Welcome to part 3 of me building Hackbase with Base44. Hackbase is our hackathon participant management platform that you can see right here. Base44 is a chat builder that here has a chat option, and that helps us build everything. In the first 2 parts, I built the basics, polished a little bit. So we got to this beautiful state where we have a good home screen, Teams overview, schedule, and we put a bit of time here into a nice profile. But this time, I wanted to ensure that our users have a good onboarding experience, a good sign-up experience, and that involves one of the key parts I believe you have to get right when you are building your SaaS tool, which is authentication. Authentication ensures that when somebody signs up, I'm currently signed in, so let's sign out, and wants to access this application, that they are allowed to do so and have the correct rights. But here you can see nothing is happening here. This is all not fully built out yet. There is no login, no sign up. I can only go home, refresh the preview, and then I'm automatically logged in. So you don't want to skimp out on doing things right on authentication. You have to imagine everything that a user enters into your SaaS, you want to be only visible, editable, deletable by that specific user. And therefore, this is also a big part of the security structure here. Let's start by prompting the model and giving us an idea of the current state of the authentication and what we would need to do to make this really nice. Here I'm going to, again, voice to text to give it just more context. So let me just start. All right, I would love to start working on the sign-in, sign-up process, including some onboarding flow as well. Could you explain to me the current state of things and what is still open to do and what is already done? So I'm doing this in this discuss mode. I don't want it to do anything in the code base. I wanted to look around, see what is already done and what is like normal for a Base44 app. Base44 has their own auth solution with email, password, magic links, things like that. They also provide external sign-up and sign-in solutions through OAuth like Google. We want to start with the basics like email and magic link. So always carefully read what it says, especially when you are working with real authentication solutions and not just prototyping your magic interaction. So what it says, currently both login and registration flow are built using the platform's standard SDK. Onboarding wizard is implemented. What is already done? Boilerplate authentication is here. And open consideration integration testing, edge case handling. Okay, it essentially says that it's done. So I'll ask it just, okay, how do I test it? I want to test this now myself. How do I go about it? I'm currently logged in, but when I sign out, I end up on a 404 login page that doesn't seem to exist. So help me out here to understand how this works and how I can test it manually. So this is also an important thing. Like whenever you don't understand something, why something is behaving, like, don't worry about it. Like I don't have a technical background and I just have a conversation with the agent about it and let it explain it to me on a level that I understand. And if it uses words that I don't know, then I'll ask it about it if it's now valuable for me. Okay, to help you test it, it currently works like this, this, and that. How to test it manually. Login, register is the URL. So that is interesting. I also have no idea how they differentiate like admins from normal users. So how to test it manually. Go to the navigation and go to /login. If this works, the root is definitely reachable. You should know if this is reachable. Okay, well, let's go to /login. Nah, it's not reachable. So I'm in the preview. You should be able to test this yourself. And if I go to /login, I just see a 404 page. And if I sign out, I see a little modal that says something like Hackbase access, sign in to continue. If I click on that, I get sent back to the 404 page. So let's fix that. When I wanted to fix something, I have to get out of discuss mode and let it do its job. And I now have to think about how do I want this experience to be? Is there something like a landing page for Hackbase that people can see like, oh, this is what this is about, and they can sign up and sign in? If we send people emails with invitations, what does that experience look like? And I want to solve that, and I want to make sure that this is secure. So it says I created the page, but I didn't wire it up in the router. That makes sure that when somebody types in /login, they're being sent to the correct page. Minor mistakes, but this is the reason why you still are the responsible person that ensures this is working. This is not working. Okay, this already looks better. It fixed it. There's also a registration page. So you can switch between registration and sign up here. And you can already see that contrast is difficult. So make the life easy for your agent and give it context. Let's create a screenshot like this, put it in here. Could you please fix the contrast of the sign-in or login or in registration page? The font is very badly readable, as you can see on the screenshot. And I'm not aware that we have a Google login. I was imagining more email plus magic link and no passwords. So why do I prefer email plus magic link over password? A magic link is when you just type in your mail, you get a link sent either with a code or with a link to click, and that logs you in. This is actually not only a better user experience, even though people would fight about that a little bit, it is much more secure. Passwords are and should be a relic of the past. It just leaves you open to vulnerabilities, to users getting hacked and you having to do customer support for that, or password resets and stuff like that. And this is quite secure. Also, something like a Google login would be great, but there is a lot of configuration I have to do on what is called the Google Cloud Console, set up a new project, create all kinds of keys and secrets, and click 1,000 buttons, and then I get to also have Google login. So I'll put this off for later. I want basic login and security with a decent onboarding to be in place before I go fancy with anything. Okay, contrast is fixed. Google login full password magic links aren't supported by the auth platform. Let's see about that. Let's try to find a way to do this. This is my security scan that I did where it says like, everything is readable for everyone. And after we have handled authentication, this should be solved. But let me look around a little bit to see if I find the right spot. So here in the setting, there is an option like for email and password authentication. I don't see anything about magic links, so let's just live with that. Sometimes you don't get everything you want, and we are fine with that. So we accept this, that we have like email and password, and that is good enough. Later, I will add Google authentication, but as I explained, it's too complicated, and I'll live with email and password. Okay, let's just make sure that the passwords are secure enough. All right, so what is the state of the onboarding experience after the sign up? Is this ready for testing, or do you want to make changes before I start testing? It says I get an email with a verification code, and it goes to /onboarding, and then I set up the profile, the track, the mode, the details. All right, I'll be going through this now, and I'll give you feedback on everything that I experience, provide you screenshots with what I like and what I don't like. Are you ready for that? So what else did it say? 2 things worth noting before the test. Invites aren't enforced. Invitation links in admin, but anyone who registered can complete onboarding. Admins skip onboarding entirely. I still don't understand how the admin flow goes, but we'll ask about that after we've handled the normal user registration. So let's go and sign up with a test email. So this is demo1@pirateskills.com, and we define a password. I do deeply hate repeating passwords in sign-up processes, but let's stick with this. We get a mail. I'm just opening this here on the side. So let me show you what that looks like. Here you see a number, and you can put that number in to verify this email is good. Serves to me also as like some type of double opt-in, ensuring that actually the user who wanted to register is also having that email address. Okay, it actually takes the first name from the email address. Not sure they're like that. Call this guy demo first, demo last for naming, demo bio, mat, skills. I can comma separate them. That is a good idea. And LinkedIn, I don't want to test now. What is interesting is it doesn't ask me for the profile picture. So sometimes I don't type voice things, but I'll do this here. Onboarding profile should include upload profile picture. And then we continue. Then we choose a track. So now the most important thing is this understandable for the user, what this is? I build a track with Cloud Code, Cursor, N8N will be building MVP with real data. AI Glass, you'll be building for smart glasses, RAG, internal data, enterprise software, workflow automations. You'll develop custom agent harness for real workflows. So first of all, I don't like the alignment here. In the track step, there is some layout issues. The tracks should all have the same vertical height. I don't want this description to only be visible when they hover. It should always be visible. And it should be very clear that the AI builder track is the default path for everyone who's not sure what else to do. And I would like you to integrate the description that is currently shown on hover plus who it's for in one section. I'll continue giving it feedback. Let's choose the AI track and let me see if I can actually continue without choosing a track. No, I cannot unselect it. That's good. I don't want people to not commit to a track. Also, it looks very weird when the tracks are selected. I'll also provide a screenshot for you regarding that. Let's select, continue. I'll do these onboarding flows like a few times, but this is why I want to give it all the feedback I have in my mind during every experience. So the next time it has a good chance to have cleaned those up already. Your mode. I'm set. I'm solo or a close team. You have an idea. You're building alone or with a team you're already known. So this is like segmentations of the users. If you're building an app, you have different types of users. At Hackathon, we have exactly these 4 types that we discovered over the past 4 hackathons. I think it's a bit wordy, but it's okay. I want to join a team. No fixed idea yet. You want to join a team or I'm just here to do this? Okay, fine. So I go for, I have an idea and I'm looking for people. So, this is interesting that this sends me to a setup for the team name and what you are building and like the tech stack. If already known, I'm not sure I want that. Let's choose I'm solo and go to continue. It also asks me for the team name and they can also pitch. Why does it have different things than that? Who are you looking for? Excellent. Maximum team size and they can choose the team size. I like this. And then when they want to join a team, it asks like, what do you bring to the team? That is very cool. Okay, and when they want to explore, they don't have anything to do yet. That was very interesting. So let's say I have an idea and I'm looking for people. This idea is called Demo Team 1, something awesome. That's what we're going to build. The rest should be optional. I'm looking for a 3-people team. I want to pitch on Sunday. All right, now it's setting you up. And it sends me to the team screen. Do I want that? We are recruiting. It has 0 members. I'm not sure it makes sense to send people to the team page instead of like the home page that should guide the user to do the next thing. After the steps are done, I used the mode of I have an idea and I'm looking for a team. I was sent to the detail page. That didn't make too much sense to me. I would like to be sent to home in most cases, except when you have a strong reason, you have to tell me about it. When you don't want to send people to the home screen afterwards. And the home screen should have like a clear indicator of what I am supposed to do next. So I also want to have like a loading bar with segments that shows me how far I am set regarding my profile and team choices. We don't want to overcomplicate things. I immediately noticed that I was overcomplicating things, so I'll get rid of that. So let me scroll down. On the home screen, I want to have a clear indicator of what to do next. Stick to what you are building. This is already hard enough. Okay, let's send that off. And this is going to grind for a little bit. So let's think ahead. What do we want to do next? We have to test that process again. We also have to test the sign-in process here. What is my profile called? It's a demo1 at pirateskills.com. Good. So let's log out and let's try to sign in. So when I log out, I'm being sent to log in. That's okay. But demo1 at pirateskills.com, type in my password. This is working. This is maybe not the best time to test this out right now. Let it work. All 4 areas are done. Great. Demo at pirateskills.com. Keeps on shifting out of that. I have to test that in production. Invalid password. Here. There's the mistake. I forgot the one. All right. What happens when I sign in? Okay. I'm surprised that this is working so nice. So we already have a successful sign-in experience, and we need to polish the the experience for the onboarding a little bit. But otherwise, I'm quite happy. So all 4 are in. So let's do it again. Let's sign out. I'm a bit surprised that there is no home page here, and that it doesn't put like the home page on another URL. How do I want to change that? Login, register, onboarding, teams. Let's change that. All right. The next thing I want to change is that the actual home page on the domain, which is later going to be configured at hackbase.app, is not a real website. Quickly, like leanly describing what Hackbase is and offering people to sign in or sign up that we can share with others. So that is a bit weird that we are landing directly in the app experience without having a landing page. For that, I want you to move the current home screen to /dashboard. Ensure that all redirects are corrected appropriately, especially the ones regarding authentication and onboarding, etc. Right? So that makes it possible that when I register a domain here, I can actually show them like a real homepage and it doesn't look so weird. Oh, let's change this URL already to Hackbase. We could actually leave it on hackbase.base44.app because at the end of the day, this is also a promotional tool for our main sponsor, Base44. So why not leave that in? I actually like that idea a lot. Again, Base44 is our main sponsor, but they don't know that I'm doing this here right now. I just think it's a great opportunity and a great use case for using a chat builder to build an internal tool that solves problems for me. So this also reminds me, there needs to be a security scan after the authentication, and we need to solve all of the security errors. The typical things that happen if you look at your data, that everything is readable by everyone by default, and that is not okay. We have to make sure that the participants can see each other, but they, for example, cannot easily read out all of the participant emails. That would be like a data privacy violation. But showing like the name and a profile picture, if users consent to that, that is good. Speaking of consent, I did not see any type of consent buttons for data processing or anything in the sign-up process. That is also something we need to fix. All right. It says it now has a homepage. So let's go to home. Here we are, Hackbase for your hackathon weekend. It still didn't get the logo right, but that's okay. Create an account, I already have one. Pick your track. That is cool. It forgot the legal entry pages, but let's fix that. All right, the homepage is nice and minimal. I don't think we need a header. I also don't want to use the wrong logo that you picked in the header. So get rid of the header entirely here. And please make the footer look the same as in the app with the 2 legal links in there. Also, I noticed that during the sign-up process, I first do not want to confirm the password. They can reset the password if they made a mistake here. And secondly, I need a consent checkbox in here that says something like, yes, I'm okay with my data being processed for the purposes that are mentioned in our privacy policy. And then you link the privacy policy that you also have in the app. Also, the registration and login links. Actually, in fact, all URLs should have the footer that we have now in the central app, because we are required to have our legal links in there at all times. Again, authentication has a lot to do with trust. Consent is part of that trust building structure. And we want to make sure that users always understand, who is this from? Is this like a scammer page? Can they check out who they are? How is their data being processed? And that needs to be part of the footer. And that also needs to be part of the checkbox of the sign-up experience. So let's let it work on that until it's finished. The next thing I want to focus on is security. So I'll ask it if security and data access is appropriately restricted to users. All right, that looks good. Next, I would like you to do a security check of this app and see if users and admins have the correct access level. For example, I, of course, want to show the other participants and teams and the profile pictures and names and skills and short bio, but I, for example, don't want them to see the email addresses of the other participants, except when they accidentally put it in the bio, when I don't mind it. Do that check now. All right. So using the smartest model you can afford, like in this case, it's going to be Opus 5 or GPT-5.6 Sol, should be the one you should be using when you do any type of security work. Fable, we sadly can't use for security work because it's restricted in that way. So after this is done, I'll do actually another security scan. Once this is complete, then I do another flow through the sign-up process, and then we have achieved the next level of this app. I wait for that to finish. So now it's reading an internal guide about RLS, that is row level security, meaning every row in the database is associated to certain users, and users have certain rights to review that. For example, admins should be able to edit the team description of another user, but not some random other user. Only the team owner and the admins should be able to do this. Admin functionality I'll cover in one of the future videos. So after security and authentication is through, I recommend publishing your app. And letting some other people go through the registration, onboarding experience, and actually have a call in 4 minutes where we talk exactly about that with the team who is building this with me, the Startplatz crew. And that is a huge resource, of people that you can get input on that are actually not you. And you have like blinders on what works and what doesn't work. You're not a good person to test your own app. Take some other people in here, especially this app needs to be like really robust in its onboarding and its user experience, also on mobile, which I haven't tested yet, because a lot of like 150 users are going to register at the next hackathon. If something goes wrong here, it's my fault. But I have a lot of other fun ideas of how to expand this. All right. So now this is complete. Emails are private now, it says. So we are ready for the next security scan. And after the security scan, I'm going to press this publish button. And then hopefully it will finally remember the actual domain I want to set this to. All right, that's it for today. We got to a good registration. We actually added a nice homepage. We now have a proper dashboard for which I need to be logged in. I'm currently still signed in as Ben. And then everything needs to be tested in production next after I've published it. But that's for the next video. See you then. Bye-bye.